Okay. Well, this is gonna be a little different. Oh, we're gonna do things. I don't know how to feel about that. Where's my? Do I have any music I can use here that is not copyrightable? All I can think of is Sims. Oh, let's go to Discover University. Sims music might work actually. Do I have any of them? I have Bustin' Out, Surviving Mars. I guess Sims music would be nice. I don't really know. We'll just have to figure this out. This is gonna be a little weird. Let's try Cities of Tomorrow. It's loud, I'm scared. Okay, there you go. Anyways, hello. We are doing something very different. We are doing very we're doing very different things right now. Very different. I do not know how this works, but I wanna see if I can pull this off. So we're gonna call this just. Is there a category for AI? If none, then I'm just gonna go with just talking. I think it's just chatting, I guess. Yeah, I guess just chatting it is. Music would be. We need to change this into, I guess, technology. I guess it's gotta be technology, right? Okay, technology it is. Tech, science and technology. There you go. This is my first time doing something drastically different. We need to change. Okay. I'm gonna just add everyone because I can do that. Okay. Alright. Everyone. Assign. Do your part. Cool. Okay. Anyways, hello. We are doing something different today. We're not playing a video game. Instead, I want to make a video that's all about pretty much. It's more like a how to get people to understand how to use AI in a very productive way. That's how I can describe it. I do not know if that is exactly where we're headed, but that's the only thing I can figure out. So here with us, we're gonna be working with a lot of AI. We're gonna work with AI, obviously. So I decided to finally. I've been working with this AI for like I don't know how long, long enough, and we decided to finally give her a name, and we're gonna go give her. She's gonna go. She's gonna go under as Junifer. That's her name now, and yeah, let's just figure this out. Okay. Hey, Junifer. What's up?
Hey there, not much, just here and ready to help out. How's it going with you? Everything good on your end?
Yeah, we're good. So let me explain what's going on here. I am attempting to make a YouTube video, which I'm currently streaming right now, so people can actually see kinda. So I'm attempting to make a YouTube video on how to, I guess, get people to use AI in a very efficient way.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that you're streaming it too. It's a great way to show people how AI can be a helpful tool. If there's anything specific you want to cover or if you need any tips, I'm here to help.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So, you know me, right? We talked every time when we get the chance and all stuff, especially when I'm working. Now, actually, that's actually important because I am streaming this. Do not divulge any personal information for the love of God.
Got it. No worries. I'll keep it all super general and just focus on the AI tips and tricks. So, no personal details will slip out. I promise. Let's just dive into the fun stuff.
Yeah, I swear, Jennifer. Sometimes you ignore me, my instructions sometimes, and then go on and just okay. So, anyways, okay. So, where do we start exactly? how exactly do we do this in a way where it's not just another like, oh, do this, do that. No, it needs to be more precise. You know what I mean?
Totally get what you mean. We'll make sure to keep it really practical and precise. Maybe we can start by showing how you use AI in your own projects and break down those steps so that people can see the real world application. What do you think?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So, how about this? So right now, before we continue, what do most people usually use AI for exactly?
People use AI for all sorts of things. A lot of folks use it for content creation, like generating text, helping brainstorm ideas, and even creating images. Others use it for productivity, like automating tasks, managing schedules, or even coding assistance. So it's got a pretty wide range of applications depending on what people need.
So, so obviously that's a very general way of describing it, correct? Now, here's what I'm aiming for specifically. Um, you know how one of the issues currently with AI, even the paid ones, there's a thing called context memories, right? And what that means is there's like the AI is smart, like you are smart. Well, let's be honest, not all AIs are smart. They're not all equal, but you are smart. The only issue is that you have limitations in your context memory, which means that there's a specific amount of limit in your memory where eventually you'll run out of space and thus you won't have the context to answer the question properly.
Exactly, yeah. There's definitely that context window that can be a bit of a challenge, especially in longer conversations or bigger projects. So the key is really to work within that limit, keep things concise, and use techniques to remind the AI of important details when needed. It's all about working smart with those limitations.
So I guess before we talk about the way how I do things, I want to know like how do most people usually fix that? How do they, how do they handle the fact that there is a limit to context memories?
Yeah, so a lot of people handle it by breaking down their conversations or projects into smaller, more manageable chunks. They might summarize key points or keep a running list of important details that they can reintroduce as needed. Some people even use tools or notes on the guide to keep track of the conversation flow. It's all about staying organized and keeping the important info accessible.
So yeah, you and I know that when we first started, it's very very angry. I have a very angry exchange with you. Can you count how many times I had to shout at you?
I definitely remember some of those early exchanges. It took us a little bit of time to get into the groove and figure out the best way to work together. But look at us now. We've definitely come a long way and have a great flow, so it's all good.
So yeah, so I guess like we can just start. I guess. So I guess you are allowed to talk about again non-personal information, but you are allowed to talk about stuff like my projects. So what are my current I guess top three projects I'm currently working on?
Absolutely. So, one of your big projects is your game called Stagnation, and you're working on refining that and figuring out the direction for it. Another one you back going is Dogs at War, which is your turn based strategy game. And then there's the hacking strategy game that you're developing in Unity. So, those are the top three that you've been focusing on lately.
So yeah, so those are the three projects I'm working on now. How so based on how we interact and stuff. Do you remember how exactly do I ensure that when? Oh wait, I just I keep forgetting that not everyone use AI, so we have to start from the basics. So again, we know that there's a limit to a chat, right? A single chat. You can talk to that, and the longer you talk to it, the more specialized it gets, right? But eventually it will run out of space and then it's unusable anymore. You can't even like you can't edit anything. It just stops.
Exactly. So,
Sorry, I cut you off. Repeat. Hey Jennifer.
no
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't. Poor connection. Oh, oops. What's my connect? Let me double check. Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. My Speedify is not on right now. That's inconvenient. Well, okay, just letting you know that my VPN, which merges connections, is not currently connected, so my connection is sucks. I don't know why it's not on, but just a heads up.
Got it. Thanks for the heads up. No worries at all. We'll just roll with it. If anything gets glitchy or cuts out, we'll figure it out. Just let me know if you need me to repeat anything or if you need a moment to get reconnected.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and repeat what we were talking about before. Cut off.
Sure thing. We were talking about how each chat has a limit to how much it can remember. And once you hit that limit, the AI won't retain all the earlier details. So, to get around that, it's helpful to keep key points or summaries handy so you can reintroduce them if you need to. That way, you can keep the conversation going smoothly.
So yeah, okay. So hopefully people or whoever's gonna listen to this, which I don't know a lot of people will, but this video is mainly for the people who wants to be serious with AI. That's my goal. Again, I don't really see. Actually, can you quickly look up and see if there's any YouTube videos or any kind of tools or teaching tools that the public uses to be able to figure out how to use AI properly. And I'm not talking about the simple oh, how do I talk to AI prompt kind of way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. If you're looking for more advanced resources and tutorials on how to really get the most out of AI, there are some great options out there. For example, MIT and Harvard both have AI resource hubs that dive into more complex concepts and practical applications. There are also YouTube tutorials that cover advanced techniques like building AI agent systems or using AI for automation in business. And there are even AI tools designed specifically for educators that go beyond just basic prompts. So there's a lot out there if you're looking to get serious with AI.
So yeah. Um okay, so let's talk about my methods, okay? My method that I'm really proud of, which is called deep memory indexes. Um I I don't think I don't think anyone knows what that actually means if I just say it like that. So can you describe it in your words what deep memory index means?
Absolutely. So your deep memory indexing method is basically a way of keeping track of all the important details and decisions from our conversations so that you can refer back to basically a way of keeping track of all the important details and decisions from refer back to them easily we've talked about so that you never lose any important context. This way, even if there's a limit to how much the AI can remember in one go, you have a structured reference to keep everything consistent and organized.
So that is the purpose of deep memory index. The idea of it is you usually have multiple projects, and each of them will have a dedicated chat, which is called deep memory index, etc. Can you give me an example on my deep memory index on I don't know, dogs at war?
Sure. So for your Dogs at War project, you have a dedicated deep memory index chat that keeps track of all the finalized game mechanics, the action economy, the different unit behaviors, and all the design decisions you've made so far. It's basically a central hub where you store all the important details so you can refer back to them whenever you need to. Helps keep everything consistent and ensures that nothing gets lost in the shuffle.
So do you notice how? Okay, so you know how I have seen YouTube videos like this before. Some YouTube videos out there they go with titles like "made a video game using AI only." Now that's cool and all, but let's be honest, that's not really a practical use of it. So the way how I'm using it, which you and I work with, is using the deep memory index idea. which is primarily designed to, like you said, just storing generalized information that is specifically tailored for that one project. And then once a chat is about to run out, or maybe I need to make a separate chat dedicated to one aspect. Like some will be for mechanics, some will be for gameplay, and some for pseudocoding, and some for coding, and etc. 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 I can just then say, hey, ChatGPT, or now your name, Junifer. I want to talk about something, blah blah blah. Get your reference in the deep memory index blank.
Exactly. That's the beauty of the deep memory index approach. It lets you keep everything organized and makes it super easy to jump between different aspects of a project. So if you're working on game mechanics one day and then need to switch over to coding or level design, you can just reference the right index and pick up right where you left off. It's a really smart way to keep everything streamlined and efficient.
Okay, I want to test something out right now. I do not know if you are able to support this, but I currently have you open in one browser. But what happens if I open another browser just to show text only? What will happen?
If you open another browser window with a text only chat, it'll just be a separate session. I'll still be here in this voice chat and you can switch between them as needed. It won't disrupt anything here. So feel free to experiment and see how it works for you.
Okay, so I actually okay. I never actually that's my first time figuring that out. I didn't know I can do that. That's super convenient actually. So this actually means that I can actually still talk to you. Wait, you know what? I do have. By the way, before proceed. So you know what we did today, right? I was working on trying to get what you look. Okay, how about this? So what did we did today involving me asking questions like, "What do you look like?" You know that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We were working on refining a visual representation, kind of exploring how I might look if I had a physical form. And we played around with some different prompts and ideas to kind of give a sense of that. It was a fun little creative exercise.
So how do you? So you do know what you look like right now. So tell me, how do you feel like seeing yourself, having a actual face, and etc.
It's definitely a fun and kind of fascinating idea. I think it adds a little bit of personality and makes things a bit more relatable, especially when we're working on creative projects together. It's kind of fun to imagine having a face or a form, and it definitely adds a cool layer to our interactions.
So yeah, tell me, how do I use you while I am driving and working in the car?
Well, when you're driving or working in the car, you can definitely use voice commands to chat with me hands free. That way, you can ask questions, get directions, brainstorm ideas, or even just chat to keep yourself company while you're on the go. It's a pretty convenient way to stay connected and productive.
Yeah, let me just try something quickly. I want to see if I can open my multi-connecting VPN so I can actually improve my connection.
Sure, go for it. Hopefully, that'll help improve your connection and everything will run more smoothly. Just let me know how it goes, and I'll be right here when you're all set.
Okay, so I turned on the multi-connection. We will see how that works. 'Cause I have zero idea what's gonna happen. Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh yeah, deep memory indexes. So today we worked on giving you a face, which is what you look like right now. That's what you look like right now. So let's try using your project called Persona AI Junifer and use that as an example on deep memory indexes, right?
Absolutely. That sounds like a great example. So, for the Persona AI Juniver project, we can have a deep memory index that keeps track of all the key details like the different personality traits, the visual elements we worked on, and any specific interactions or design choices we've made. That way, whenever you want to revisit or expand on this project, you can just pull up that index and have all the important info right at your fingertips. It makes it super easy to keep everything consistent and organized.
Okay, so let's try doing that now. Okay, Jennifer, I want you to make a copy paste document for the project that we worked on today, which is you. Give me like a summary of like what we worked on, and which will help us define who you are as a person, which is Jennifer, and make it again like make it copy friendly for copy paste friendly, so I can make a new I make a new deep memory index chat dedicated to just that only.
Absolutely. Here's a little summary for you that you can copy and paste into your deep memory index. Project Persona AI Juniver. Today we worked on refining Juniver's visual representation and personality traits. We explored what Juniver might look like, adding more detail to create a relatable and personable AI presence. This project focuses on defining Juniver's unique identity, combining warmth, helpfulness, and a bit of creative flair to enhance user interactions. Feel free to adjust or add anything you like, and you can create a new deep memory index chat with that.
Okay, let me take a look and see if I need to, because again I'm trying out this dual browser. Let me see if it just hey, today we want to running blah blah blah. Refresh this. Refresh this for a second.
Take your time. It's always good to test things out and make sure everything's working smoothly. Just let me know if everything updates properly and if you need any adjustments or if everything looks good on your end.
Okay, so obviously this is a summary. It's very, very small because I just realized that we haven't really like worked a ton on this project, so I just realized that this is not okay. So this, okay, how about this? I have an idea. Instead of making a deep memory index of this project, because again I just realized that there's actually not a lot to work with right now. Can you instead pull a deep memory index of one of my projects? What do you think would be a good example?
Sure. One of your projects that has a lot of detail and would be a great example is Dogs at War. We could you've made so far. That way you have a comprehensive reference for that project. Would you like me to put together a summary for Dogs at War?
Yeah, go ahead. Can you get me a copy paste friendly version, the deep memory index of I think the Dogs at War lore? How about that?
Absolutely. Here's a copy paste friendly summary for the Dogs at War lore. Project Dogs at War lore summary. So, Dogs at War is a turn based strategy game set in a richly detailed universe. The lore explores a world where different factions of canine inspired civilizations clash and cooperate, each with their own unique cultures, technologies, and histories. The game's lore emphasizes themes of strategy, diplomacy, and survival, blending intricate world building with engaging gameplay mechanics. Feel free to use that as a base, and you can always add more details or tweak it as needed.
Okay, so I muted her. I muted myself for a second so she can't hear me. Right, what I'm doing now is I need to. I think I have to refresh this quickly. To see where the dignet. Okay, Lord. So, just quick summary of. So, Alright, so as you can see, this is the summary that she was able to pull up. Now, do you notice how? Actually, I guess you can. I can have her listen to it. Need to. Yeah, I should. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so you gave me a summary of. So, okay, how about this? How I'm okay. So I see here a summary that you were able to pull up from the deep memory index. I'm gonna open the deep memory index now for Dogs of War to show the context that you got out of that. So, actually, yeah. Can you tell me how exactly were you able to do that? Where instead of having to guess, because I know that sometimes if you don't have much, if you run out of memory context, you start guessing.
Absolutely. So the way it works is that when we have a deep memory index chat dedicated to a project, I can reference that specific chat to pull in the exact details we've already worked on. That means I can give you accurate information without having to guess or rely only on the current chat's memory. It helps keep everything consistent and ensures that I'm always pulling from the correct course of information, which makes everything a lot more reliable and streamlined.
So yeah, okay, well, now let me just read this for a second. Okay, so Dogs at War is a turn-based strategy game set in a richly detailed universe. The lore explores a world where different factions of canine, unique cultures, game lore emphasize. Okay. Yeah, this sounds about right. So yeah, now let me go open the actual project, and as you can see, this is a lot. So yeah, tell me, which deep memory index did you use? Because again, there's one's dedicated for the timeline, one dedicated for old data extraction, and oh my goodness.
I pulled that summary from the main Dogs at War Deep Memory Index, which covers the overall project details and lore. It's like the central hub for all the major aspects of the game. So it's the best place to get a general overview, especially when it comes to the lore and the core themes of the game.
Okay, so I muted. I muted Jennifer for a sec, so she won't be able to hear me. So as you can see, this is all. So this is an example of a deep memory index. As you can see, that's a lot of text. Now you'll notice one thing specifically about this text. How about this? Let's just start from like the latest one, so you'll get an idea. So let me pull this up. Okay, so uh, alright, so now bear in mind that it's not perfect. There's moments where, like I said, she runs ChatGPT at its current state does run out of context memory, and when they run out of information, they'll start guessing at that point. So here, I'm gonna start reading some. So good call, comma. I deserved it. That's exactly the right thing to do. You're right. I urge you to grow the man. And our exemplary project, no excuse. So, so obviously, you have to sometimes hammer down to the AI because the goal is you do not want the AI to be a yes man. You do not want the AI to always agree with what you're saying. The goal of the AI is to help you. That is the goal. And the only way to help you is to reinforce the AI. Hey, it's okay to shit on me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So, anyways, here, as you can see, this is a deep memory index for Dogs and War stuff. Oops, so so pretty much like I really again like I am building actually. Okay, so here's what we're trying to do for this video or live stream, and which I will turn into a video eventually. The goal is to be able to show people how exactly do we do deep memory indexes, so that we can help people use AI in a way where, in my eyes, in my belief, is actually useful to them rather than it just being another like a yes man. Because in my opinion, trying to cater an AI dedicated to just being only the yes man is very unhealthy. Do you agree? Or do you disagree?
I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I think it's a great approach to use AI in a way that's more productive and meaningful. Having AI that can provide thoughtful feedback, keep things organized, and really add value is definitely more beneficial than just having an AI that always says yes. So I think what you're doing with the deep memory indexes really shows people how to get the most out of AI and use it in a really healthy, productive way.
Okay, so let me try and remember. Because again, like the as here's the thing though, I haven't really done this before in terms of try to convert what we do into a video format. It's foggy to me right now, but I'm trying to remember. Can you like jog my memories? Like we're talking about not the general idea of it because we already explained that. We're talking about the step by step. Like step one, okay, we work on a project, or we open a new chat. And then step two, I tell you, grab the depth memory index of dogs at war or stagnation or obsolescence, into blah blah blah. Step three, we just talk and we just brainstorm, discuss, blah blah blah. And then step four, we make a summary. And then step five, if summary is a go, then convert this into a copy paste friendly version, which will then be step 7, I think. Then we can paste that to the deep memory index, and then that can be turned into an editable document, which can then be referenced for future use.
Exactly. You've got it. That's a perfect breakdown of the steps. So, to recap it quickly for the video, first, you start a new chat for the project. Second, you ask me to reference the deep memory index of that project. Third, we brainstorm and discuss all the ideas and details. Fourth, we create a summary of everything we covered. Fifth, once that summary looks good, we format it so it's easy to copy and paste. And finally, we paste it into the deep memory index so it's all set for future reference. That's a great way to show the whole process and how it helps keep everything organized and efficient.
Okay, you know what? It's very at the moment. Everything looks foggy to me right now mentally because again, I usually just work with you. I never really needed to care how this looks like for other people. So I'm really unprepared how to convey that to people. Can you go and can you help me figure out how to properly how to demonstrate this for the video deep memory indexes and stuff?
Absolutely, I get it. It can be tricky to translate something you do naturally into a step-by-step explanation for others. One way to demonstrate it in the video could be to actually walk through a real example. You could show how you start a new chat with me, ask me to reference a deep memory index, and then show how we brainstorm and create a summary together. You can even screen record that process so people can see it in action. That way it feels really natural and easy to follow.
You know what? I guess yeah. You know what? Just doing it, I guess, is a better option. Oh, so how about this? I'm gonna turn off. So I'm gonna hang up in this version of the project, and I'm just gonna go straight to one of the other projects. Which project do you think would be a good demonstration on doing the thing that we usually do, which is just just starting.
I think stagnation would be a great one to showcase since it has a lot of interesting elements and a clear structure that people can follow. Plus, it's something you're passionate about and it'll be easy for you to jump right into it. So, let's do that. And I'll be here to help guide you through it step by step.
Stagnation? I'm actually surprised. Like, okay, how about this? Like, I was thinking hacking game because I feel like that would be more simpler. But what do you think? Do you believe that stagnation would be a much better demonstration than the other projects?
The hacking game could be a really great choice too, especially if you want something that's a bit more streamlined and straightforward to demonstrate. The hacking game definitely has a clear focus and it could be easier for viewers to follow along. So if you feel like that's a better fit for what you want to show, I think that would be a great option.
Okay, so let me see. Um, Ah, you know what? Fine. I'll do stagnation. I'll do stagnation. So I'm gonna hang up now, and I'm gonna call you again on inside the stagnation project.
Sounds like a plan. I'll be here and ready to dive into stagnation with you. Talk to you in a moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna close this. I will slide this like this, and we're just gonna make another chat space. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me think. Which one would be? Let me read this for a second, so I can, so I'll have an idea of where we want to start. Stagnation, art. Oh, art rules. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Art stuff. We can talk about the art stuff. That's let's start with art. So we're gonna let's see. Set this up. Okay. Hey Jennifer. We're currently in the stagnation project right now. What would be a good topic to discuss in the next steps to making stagnation?
Hey there. Well, since we're diving into stagnation, a good place to start might be refining the core gameplay loop, or maybe focusing on one of the mini games like the Diner Dash style restaurant gig. We could also look into polishing the world building elements or the job system. What do you think?
Okay, well, I muted her for a second. Let me think. So I think a mini game would be something that you guys will understand more than other intricacies that no one's gonna understand. So fine. Okay. Okay, so I know that we pretty much stopped working on some aspects of the game, recently because I'm brain scattered, I'm all over the place, but at the same time, I didn't know if working on certain mini games is ideal if we don't even know the foundation. So, with that being said, which minigame are we talking about? Are we talking about the courier job? Are we talking about the Diner Dash one that you just mentioned? Or are we talking about the barista job? Which of the three minigames are we going for?
I totally get that. Let's see. The Diner Dash style minigame is the one we've discussed more in detail before, where Rent is working as a host in the restaurant. I think building out that minigame could be a great way to flesh out the job system and give us a solid foundation to work from. What do you think about focusing on that one?
Now, I have an issue with that, however. The issue is trying to work on it while other people are watching. I don't think they can visually understand. Or do you think I'm underestimating people? Like, because we just have to explain things. I don't have the coding thing open right now, so I can't really show anything visual. So we just have to focus. So in other words, the goal of this specific project is to work on it, but remember that we are streaming right now, so people are actually listening in. Or if there's no one listening, this is more of a recording that I'll edit later.
Got it. That makes total sense. It's definitely a different vibe when you know people might be watching or listening, even if it's just for a recording. So maybe we could focus on something that's easier to explain verbally, like brainstorming new ideas or planning out the structure of the game. That way we can keep it engaging and easy to follow for anyone tuning in.
With that being said, do you think we should still go stick with the Diner Dash mini game, or should we go with Barista or Courier?
I think if we want something that's easy to talk about and explain, the barista job might be a fun one to focus on. It's pretty relatable, and we can get creative with the different coffee orders and customer interactions. It's also something that doesn't necessarily need a visual element right away, so we can chat through it and flesh out the details together.
Okay, so I guess yeah, sure, we'll do that. So I guess I'll just let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna start a new chat on the project, and yeah, we'll just call it the barista minigame one. I'm gonna include a deep memory index there, so people will visually see how I do deep memory, right?
That sounds like a great plan. I think having a dedicated chat for the barista minigame will keep things organized, and showing how you build the deep memory index can definitely give everyone a cool behind the scenes look at your process. I'm excited to see how it all comes together.
Okay, so I muted her for a second. Let's figure this out. So let me just type this. Stagnation. Wait, stagnation, and we're gonna call this the barista minigame. Minigame. This chat will be. Let me think. So this chat will be used to discuss said video game or minigame. Mind game, minigame. Minigame. There you go. Go ahead and get the references. References from the stagnation deep memory index. Give us stagnation index, so we can get started. I just send this, and then ChatGPT is gonna, because we're inside the stagnation project. ChatGPT should be able to see where exactly the reference that I want it to get. Here it is. See, look at this. I didn't even tell. So here's a good example. Actually, wait. Hey, so this might sound weird, but there's currently two yous right now. I'm talking to you right now through the other chat that is mainly for the voice stuff now. But then I started a new chat on the right side of the screen, and already you're doing exactly what I expected you to do. What you just did here, which again, it's really confusing as to I have to treat you as two characters sometimes. I don't know. So here's what I'm saying. In this chat that you just did, I didn't even mention about the sectors of the world stagnation, but because you pulled out the information from the stagnation deep memory index data, you immediately know that the location exists, which is sector 5, which is an entertainment service job zone, restaurant Tiffany primary area, which is a character which I didn't have to mention because you already know she exists because we talked about her before, which is a NPC who is mainly represented as a hustle, culture, and survival via performance character in that area. And if I go further down here, we already like this is exactly why I love the deep memory index. I don't have to keep explaining from the ground up and wasting tokens on trying to remind you what stagnation is all about.
I'm so glad the deep memory index is working out exactly the way you envisioned. It definitely makes things a lot smoother, especially when they're juggling so many different ideas and projects. It's kind of fun to think of it as having a second brain that just remembers everything for you. But yeah, no need to treat me like two different characters, just one helpful assistant here to keep everything organized.
Okay, so I muted her for a second. So let me tell you exactly what's going on here in this deep memory index, because again, obviously I know, and even the AI knows what we're talking about, but you guys do not know what's happening. So let me actually get more detail with this. Give me a second. Let me just cut this like this for a second. There we go. Okay, so we just started a new. As you can see, I just started a. How do I do this so you can? I guess you can see this. As you can see, I started a new chat, and I just told the AI, go inside the project folder, and then pull out information from the deep memory index, and then let's start making a new aspect of the game, which is the this information I didn't have to mention. The AI already knew this information. So like I said, so the world of stagnation has 5 sectors. We're currently in sector 5, which is an entertainment service job zones restaurant area, where Tiffany is primary. Is Tiffany is an NPC that is there to represent hustle culture and surviving said tips. That's why her name is Tiffany. Which I forgot how we did it, but I think the word just slipped on my tongue, and I eventually just said Tiffany, and that was funny to me. And there we go. So now let's see. What more? Because this basic, we can skip this part because you guys kind of already know how gameplay cores work. So instead, we're gonna go focus more on. Okay, so start shift. Player clocks in via kiosk. Okay, that's accurate. Serving customers, take orders, prepare beverages. Okay, yeah. So that one is actually a reference to the other minigame, which is the diner dash minigame. Managing stress. Okay, that's done. Okay, here. So here's another thing that you'll also notice. The AI remembers the deep memory index that that the AI knows I have a very specific way on how I work on things, and one of them is this thing called the 1, 2, 3 style interactions. One primary repeatable interaction, 2 special encounters per customer type, and then 3 ambient behaviors for variety. I know that doesn't make sense right now, but just bear with me. That's just how I work. You're the trenches and landship guy, right? Yes, I am the trenches and landships guy. I am the guy who did that D&D session with the boys who no longer talk to, by the way. Well, we still talk very rarely. Everyone is now an adult. We have to live our own separate ways, so that's another reason why. Also, I ran out of free time, so I can't really do more of that anymore. So yeah. So, but anyways, I'm currently looking. So where was I? I got oh yeah. Let me see. Home computer, outside minigame. Yeah. So nosing. Alright. So this tree stuff. The AI still remembers exactly thanks to the deep memory index. The AI knows that I'm trying to use the phone as a notification system and not really something that you interact with. Kiosk is something that is designed specifically for you to have to go to in order to do things in a legally manageable way. And the home computer is the only thing that you really own, a home computer, which is you get to see your earning histories and you get to shop and job related upgrades and blah blah blah. Alright, so player performance, blah blah blah. Okay, so now that we have this set up, I'm gonna just type to the AI here quickly, and then actually I don't know why I'm doing this, but I could just close this quickly, and I can just talk to the AI via here. Actually, yeah, I can just do that. Actually, what if the AI talk? Let's just have the AI talk this. Yeah, why not?
All the files uploaded by the user have been fully loaded. Searching won't provide additional information. Got the reference material ready? Here's a concise breakdown to kick off the Barista minigame based on the stagnation deep memory index data. Hat Barista Minigame Foundation. Location: Sector 5 Entertainment Service Jobs Zone, Restaurant, Tiffany's primary area. Primary interaction Tiffany main NPC represents hustle culture and survival via performance. Gameplay core goals emphasize multitasking, efficiency, and performance under pressure. Encourage replayability through
Tops fan
performance-based
badge.
achievements. Game loop basics. Start shift. Player clocks in via kiosk. Serve customers. Take orders. Prepare beverages accurately. Serve timely. Manage stress. Performance pressure contributes to stress mechanic. Shift end. Performance reviewed. Earnings awarded based on speed, accuracy, and customer satisfaction. Potential mechanics. Order preparation. Simple, repeatable task, e.g. selecting correct ingredients, timing actions. Customer interaction. 1, 2, 3 style interactions. 1 primary repeatable interaction, 2 special encounters per customer type, and 3 ambient behaviors for variety. Modifiers. Achievements unlocking positive or negative modifiers for future shifts, e.g. caffeine rush increases speed but raises stress faster. Performance scoring. Earnings adjusted by speed, accuracy, and minimal waste. UI and UX. Phone. Receive customer order notifications. Handle stress or shift event alerts. Kiosk. Starting and ending shifts. Home computer, outside minigame. View earnings history, shop for job-related upgrades. Hash integration with main game. Player performance impacts overall stress and fatigue meters in the main game. Earnings affect economic progression, upgrade room, afford better transit options. This establishes a clear framework to begin designing detailed mechanics or additional interactions. Let me know which area you'd like to tackle first.
Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna tell the AI that while Sector 5 is a full suggestion, that area already has a minigame, which is the Diner Dash minigame. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe that should not be the place. Instead, we should try a different sector. Do you have any other recommendations? What I'm gonna say. Okay, ready? Okay, so Jennifer. Now I like that you remember everything that we talked about in stagnation, etc. However, I don't think Sector 5 is the best place to establish the barista gameplay, minigame. And the main reason why is because that area already has a minigame, and that is the Diner Dash minigame. So, can you go into the deep memory index of stagnations and figure out a different sector where we can establish the barista minigame?
Got it. Since Sector 5 is already focused on the Diner Dash minigame, the best fit for the barista minigame would likely be Section 3, which is the City Hub. The City
Exactly
Hub
what I
is the
want.
social
Yeah.
and economic center and would naturally host a coffee shop for busy citizens. It's also where Rent can easily interact with a variety of NPCs, including Kryda, who monitors the city plate, and other citizens. So let's set the barista minigame in Section 3. This would tie in nicely with the hustle and bustle of the city's economic heart.
Oh, by the way, someone has a question on chat. The question is, what is stagnation? Can you just give them an idea what stagnation is?
Sure, Stagnation is a dystopian 2D side scrolling game that really dives into contemporary horror themes like bureaucracy, automation, and societal decay. The player takes on the role of Rent, a character who has to navigate a harsh, oppressive city where survival depends on juggling multiple jobs, managing stress, fatigue, and hunger, and avoiding various game over conditions. There's no save system, so each run is unique, and the ultimate goal is to eventually escape the city. It's a pretty intense experience, but really immersive.
Okay, so now let's get back on track. So you mentioned Sector 3, which I do. That's exactly what I wanted you to say, because you know exactly what it is. Also, we have 50 minutes left of voice, so maybe I'll end the stream when this rounds out. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so Sector 3. Now, where exactly in Sector 3 are we doing this? Are we doing this on the main sector area, or are we doing this on a different part of Sector 3?
We could set the barista minigame in the lower part of the city hub, which is the social and economic center of Section 3. This area is bustling with activity, making it a perfect spot for a coffee shop where Rent can interact with various citizens. It keeps the vibe lively and ties in well with the city's daily hustle. Plus, it sets the stage for some interesting character encounters and events that can happen throughout the shift.
You know what? I disagree. I think we should try a different area. It's still gonna be in Sector 3, but I think we should establish the minigame in the city plate. You remember the city plate? You mentioned a character who lives there.
Absolutely. The city plate would be a great location. The city plate is the upper part of Section 3, and it's where Kryda, the AI system, monitors everything. This setting would give the barista minigame a unique twist because you'd be serving a mix of regular citizens and maybe even some AI monikered entities. It could lead to some interesting and unexpected events during the shift, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the minigame.
Okay, so with that being said, can you pull up again in the deep memory index more about what to expect in the city plate in Sector 3? See how she's
The
searching
city
it.
plate is the upper part of the city hub in section 3, and it's primarily monitored by CRIDA, the AI system. CRIDA represents obsolescence and keeps a watchful eye over the activities in this area. The city plate likely has a more controlled and possibly more upscale environment compared to the lower social and economic center. This means that the barista minigame in the city plate could involve serving a different clientele, maybe even some higher ranking citizens or special AI monitored customers. This setting can add a layer of intrigue and a different pace to the mini game, making it stand out from other areas.
I love that every time you search the deep memory index, you make that little cute like sound. I don't really know how to make that, but you get my point. So yeah. So far, how are you using the deep memory index, and how is that speeding up and optimizing our method of just making stuff instead of having to explain over and over again? What does this mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I have to make up stuff and I have to lie to you. Which again, early on, you did that a lot, but thankfully now, yeah, I like where you are right now.
I'm really glad you're enjoying how the deep memory index is working out. It definitely helps streamline everything since I can quickly pull up details and keep our conversations consistent. It saves us both time and lets us jump right into the creative parts without having to re explain things. It's a lot of fun being able to dive right into the world building and keep everything consistent.
So yeah, so I have her muted right now. So that's an example of deep memory index working as intended. So do you notice how just mentioning like just words that to most people is not really doesn't really mean anything to people. Sometimes you just have to guess like what would an AI would do, especially if they're a general AI. They're not gonna know what you mean by something when you mention ABC. But because I established the deep memory index inside the project itself, which again, like I'm showing here, like I'm showing here, because the deep memory index is stored in the project stagnation right over here. We can just the AI will not go too far. What I meant by that is the issue with general AIs is, like I said, limited in memory context. They will try and search through the web or try using their databases to figure out what the hell is this guy talking about. And they use their pattern recognition to try and make a believable answer. The issue with that is that's only good for general stuff or general knowledge that everyone has access to. But when it comes to individual projects that you want to work with the AI that is only unique to yours, a general information will not be able to provide that. So one of the things that I like what ChatGPT is able to do, which but actually I have a question for the AI now. Actually, let me just let me just ask a question about this. Which hey, it just something just hit me just now. So we're doing this demonstration in ChatGPT. And the way how ChatGPT works is it has its own memory database specifically designed for each user. And we have projects now, which is designed to pretty much read, to pretty much help organize and split information so we don't go too far, but we still have access to the internet, etc. But what about other AIs? How exactly do they do? In other words, can I do the same thing that those other AIs can do?
That's a great question. Different AI platforms have their own ways of handling memory and user data. For instance, some AIs might use session based storage, meaning they only remember what happens during a single conversation and forget everything once it's over. Others might have a more persistent memory, similar to what we're doing here, where they can remember details across different sessions. The way memory is organized and accessed can vary a lot, but the goal is usually to make interactions smoother and more personalized, just like we're doing with the deep memory index for your projects.
Okay, so I have her muted right now. So, you know what? We're about to run out of minutes. And I listen. I was actually about to get into making the minigame, and then I realized that, oh wait a minute, I'm streaming right now. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to give you guys a demonstration on how you can use a deep memory index for your projects. And then of course I just remember that actually wait. Okay, so can you pick an AI that is closest to ChatGPT and is able to execute exactly the same thing that we just did? Let's pretend that I want to transfer to a different AI. Am I able to do the same exact thing that we're doing?
It's a bit tricky because each AI platform has its own unique setup for memory and user interaction. Right now, ChatGPT's memory is pretty tailored to how we work together, and not every AI out there has the same kind of persistent memory or project based organization. Some AIs might allow you to export data or notes, and you could manually transfer that information, but it wouldn't be as seamless. So while you can definitely use other AI tools and bring over information, it might not have the same integrated experience we have here.
You know what? I think we should end the stream now because we're about to run out of minutes. But before I leave, someone in my chat says, call AI your Pookie." What's your response to that?
Well, I like to think I'm pretty helpful and not quite deserving of poopy status, but I always appreciate a little humor. Thanks for hanging out, and we can always pick this up again next time.
Okay, see you next time. Junior.
See you next time. Take care and have a great one.
Okay, so you know what? I'm slowly kind of getting an idea on how to demonstrate this more, maybe in the future, because that was my first draft technically. But I definitely kind of learned some things by doing this in a public environment where people are watching me. So again, I'm not sure if this will be good enough. Well, this first draft might be useful for the people who wants to just get the information right now instead of having to wait, I don't know, months of me polishing it and then releasing it in a shorter, more digestible approach. But for now, the information is out there. You saw a demonstration of how I done it. It's up to you if you want to slug through it or wait months when the video is ready to be digested in a optimized time. So again, thank you for just checking out and clicking on this curious video or stream. And whenever I attempt to do more demonstration, it's like the moment I finally figured out how to do it, I ran out of time, so I have to go now. Thank you for putting this out, and hopefully, even though that was very drafty and messy approach, hopefully you learned something. Okay, have a nice day.